pot.
What's going on, you guys? We are not live, Chaz. This is a recorded session of the Burly. This is a Burly fishing podcast, not live edition, and we are sad that we're not with you live. First and foremost, we miss you guys so much. Chat, how you doing right now, chat? If you're at home, like what are you up to? Hit me up in the comments.
Crickets.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely nothing.
I mean, they're not here right now. We miss you so much. We'd love to hear as much chatter as you do on the chats in the comments below. That's how you can help out. While you're watching this on your phone, you can just comment right now. It'd be super cool. But hey, we appreciate you guys, and we didn't want to take the week off. As of the posting of this video, I'm in San Diego right now, so hopefully the weather's fantastic, and I'm vibing. Where do you want me to go, Chaz? The rooftop Hard Rock hotel. Hopefully, I'm just across the street from the convention center. Chaz asked me for like weeks on end after he knew I was going to San Diego if I was going to the convention center. And I was like, I don't know. Every single time he asked. So today we nailed it down. I will be at the convention center, Chaz. But yeah, so hopefully I'm having a good time. But we wanted to still be present with Burly Fishing, the podcast that's not live right now, on a Thursday. We didn't want there to not be one, so we recorded this ahead of time. And I think we got a decent idea for tonight. Paul, we're gonna have fun.
No, this one's rock solid. Before we get going, I do want to know: is the Hard Rock Cafe still a place that people go?
Yeah, man.
Well, so in San Diego, the adult beverages are actually not that badly priced, and it's a rooftop.
That's not. Okay. This is not. I'm nonplussed. Not that badly priced is not. Okay. I'm not like yes.
It's
very averagely priced beverages. Also,
it's like 10
slightly above average.
It's like 10 cents above like the average price of the rest of San Diego.
So a casual $50 a pint.
I need to hear things like unlimited French fries, or I need to hear things like
KBS is $3.
Swing set at the bar. I don't know. I need to hear something outlandish.
Swing set at the bar.
I am right now. I'm not.
Bring your
sold.
kid. Put them in the swing. You push them while you consume your beverages.
Tell me, $1 million
idea.
You get $1 million idea every episode, guaranteed on the Burly Fishing Podcast.
There you go. We're bringing it back, and I contributed my $1 million idea. I love it. So the dad bar, the dad and child.
Yeah,
bar.
the Papa bar. I like it a lot.
And they get a nice pint of milk, and then like you get your dad pop. Yeah.
See, now that's a place.
It's
that's
close.
A place where you would say you should go there.
Yeah.
The 10 cent above the average for San Diego pricing setup. Probably just, I don't know. Probably pass.
Yeah. I don't know how alcohol in the kid situation probably doesn't mix that well. So I mean, you gotta be careful around that. But I mean, yeah, I figured there was a minimal distance that they had to be, but that means like.
We're moving on. All right, tell me.
Anyways,
Beth, tell me about what's coming up for Burly Fishing here shortly soon.
Oh, wouldn't you like to know, Paul? I'll tell you. So we're gonna do a jig throwdown, and what's our idea with this? Where are we going with that?
I'm doing.
There's a lot of jigs we got to test out, but
so I got like a couple boxes of jigs here. Two companies that folks asked about. So we've got Beast Coast, who makes some unbelievable jigs, but we also have Battle Baits, who also make some super unique and high quality jigs. I've got these two orders, and they're not open, these are sealed. I'm gonna open these up on a video. I think I'm gonna record it this week and then post it. What, Jeff? This one will come out Friday next week.
Well, you got Friday this week, or probably
so you guys will see it tomorrow as the posting of this video.
Yeah, there you go. So we're gonna do that. So we're comparing Battle Baits and Beast Coast. It's gonna be pretty sweet. I'm excited just for the fishing tackle that I can then use. It's jig time, so I mean we can make it work. We're also gonna be making some plastics. So we've taken all your advice. Thank you so much for all the comments, all the IG messages you guys are sending, Paul. You guys are fantastic, and we've taken that to heart, and we're going to apply that to our scientific lab experiments that will be conducted in the safety of Paul's garage, which is so 5 out of 10 safety level. I mean, well, we have the depths. We have the depths bait, so we can test that out. But we don't have we don't have that. But I would enjoy it if it was like the emoji though. It's like Just the poop emoji. Just like throw that out there. Let's see what happens. That's your bobber. That would be the bobber.
I'm trying to figure out what I would use that for.
Nothing.
Maybe
Absolutely nothing.
if they had poo emoji glitter, that
Yeah.
would be an idea.
Question: if you threw frog hooks on it, do you think it would do better
Okay.
than
So
or worse?
other than what Jeff's
You know
talking
what?
about, we
No, the turtle. Other than the turtle,
the turtle will for sure
it's
lose.
like it's
There's
the same. Like from
roughly
underneath. If I'm looking up at that like a bass, it's
profile.
like the same profile.
All right. Other than what we've
Let us know what
evolved
you guys
into.
prefer via emoji in the comments below. Pooper turtle. Hey, it doesn't. I don't care if this is demonetized at all.
No.
let's roll into it.
All right. So we also do have some actual fishing videos coming in hot.
Oh, did we
Jeff and I
fish?
we did. We fished.
We did it.
Fish were caught. Not a lot, but I didn't really expect a lot to be caught.
4?
But we did get to go fishing, knocked off the rust, and we're going to be doing more fishing videos, which is super exciting because that means, fishing, which is like
Yeah.
kind of what we're here for. So
I also heard from a few buddies, including Ted from Flat River Outfitters, who has contributed multiple free trips. If you guys want to go,
the legend.
smallmouth bass on the Flat River, pretty sweet, pretty legendary grounds. And our buddy guides out there, he's awesome. We've actually had 2 guides from there. Workman Outfitters
Yep.
was also on here. So we got some good guides up there that we know. So you guys hit us up if you want to do a trip to Michigan and go fish the flat. But at any rate, he said they got skunked the same day we went out.
Saw
and
that.
I told him like we essentially fished a 1 hour window. The rest of the time we were just getting baits wet, and I threw 2 of them away. Maybe 3. 2 of them. Should we? I lost a chatterbait. It's real sad. It was the one that caught me the only fish I caught that day, which is a 4.3 though. So, and it had the mouth of a 6.
It really did.
Absolute
That
ridiculous fish.
That fish was very thin.
Oh man,
was a
she
big
was
fish, though.
malnourished, pale, like just sad.
Couple
looking giant
hundred,
bass.
couple hundred shad. Get those in there, and she's gonna be a beast.
Yep. Yeah, that could have been a 6. I was looking at the profile in the water, and I remember yelling out to you. I was like, "Dude, I think it's a 6."
Yeah,
And I got it
big
in. I was like, 4.3 confirmed on 2 scales.
Yeah.
BS. Anyways, all right. Well, that's what we got coming up, you guys. We'll get tons of other videos as well out here very soon. We are doing some major work and financial damage right now in terms of fishing electronics. So that is on the way. We're waiting on the units right now. It's gonna be like 6 to 8 weeks to get those units, but almost everything else is coming in right now. Thank goodness for Fish USA, and they're like blazing fast shipping. It's absolutely ridiculous. Every time I order from them,
It's heartwarming.
All right, my heart is warm. Let's get into a Q of the D, and let's do what
we got our Q of the
came here
D.
to
We've
do.
got what is the this is going to require some explanation, but what is the best PG level dad salt? That is an insult from a father, right? So an insult coming from a father, a dad
Yep.
salt. What is the best one that you can think of?
So PG level changes a lot of things,
It
but
really does. Yeah.
I love coining the term dad salt.
You're welcome.
This is a dad insult, a fatherly insult. So a dad salt.
Like a dad joke, but a dad salt.
It's also like pouring salt in the wound. There's a double entendre. I like it. So at any rate, what comes to my mind is that anytime Paul and I go out and we fish, we insult each other like the entire day.
Constantly.
And they're predominantly dad salts. Most of them are R-rated, so we're not going to.
Yeah, these are PG-13 at best. Typically, sometimes going into the X category.
Yeah.
They're not good. They don't make the video. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, they like this last fishing trip.
Yeah.
You guys are going to see there's probably a lot of unusable footage, so I do not envy Paul for editing that one. We were having a day, so you know how it goes. But PG level, the one that pops into my mind is just our most recent that we say to each other all the time, which is "get bent, loser."
Yeah.
And I don't know why it's so funny to me every time we say it. It feels so good to say.
It really does.
It feels aggressive,
cathartic.
Yeah, just get bent, loser.
Get bent. Something about the cadence. You really just get into it. It's very nice.
You the letters right. It really
does.
Enunciation is important on that one.
Yep.
Get bent, loser.
Get bent. It is really good. That was actually the genesis of this question.
Yeah.
Was get bent. Now 100%. I'm left to clean up the dregs and think about my favorite dad insults. Now the nice,
be creative.
Well,
there's so many.
well, I think not a lot of PG ones. I think the one that I like is more of like a category, and it's just
Yeah.
all built around one word. So instead of dropping the F bomb, I like to drop the fart bomb. And so
Oh, what
instead
the
of
fart?
saying what the, I would say something like what the fart, or I would say
Yep.
eat a fart, or something of that nature.
Got the
I
same
think that
F
it's
emphasis.
got the
So
emphasis, but it's so unexpected for people. I think no one's waiting. Like when I say "what the fart," I think no one is ready for it, and it really
yeah.
is wonderful. Brings a lot of glee and joy, which is what a PG-13 dad salt is really supposed to do. Trying to turn the
Yeah.
whole car around, and that's really what it is. So I would say "what the fart" is my answer.
Yeah. I like that. Also just like not calling people nerds when you're mad at them anymore, because nerds
Mhm.
is a term of endearment we've
Yeah,
told you
something
guys.
that's a lovely
We
thing.
we love the nerds. Feels good right in your
But
chest cavity.
dorks,
But
but
dorks,
dorks.
that's what I was gonna say. I was getting at. I
I
was
know.
like, when I literally I gave that distinction to my daughters this week. I was like, just so you know,
So let me
like
explain this to you.
you're mad at someone, that's a dork. Like they're being a dork. And if you really like them, but you want to tease them a little bit, and you're not like pissed at them, it's just like jokingly, or if you're just using a term of
Term of
endearment,
endearment.
like we
Yeah.
do here, you call
You
them a nerd.
nerd. You stinking nerds.
Yeah,
But if
I
I
call my
call you
kids
a
nerds all the time.
if I call you a farting dork, you better leave because we're gonna
Fart.
get into a because we're gonna get
What
into a
the
fight.
fart, dork?
You farting dork. It's go time.
All right.
Gloves are
So,
coming off. Throwing hands.
yeah, since chat's not here, chat, let us know your favorite PG.
Must be PG. And do not creep into PG
Yeah,
13. I'll know. There's a line. You know where it is.
yeah.
Don't cross it.
Automatic DQ.
Lint liquor. Lint liquor is
You
the
lint
is the line.
liquor.
Lint liquor is the line.
What? Daft cow? You daft cow?
I don't know, Jaws. I don't.
I kind of love that. It sounds
I
so. Chaz had like a
If you
British
have to
nanny.
question
Hang
it,
on, hang
have to
on. So
question it.
Chaz had a British nanny, so he like. Oh, your grandma's British. So he will often pronounce things like garage, and use like these terms I find synonymous with British culture. And when you say daft, that's a total like UK thing. There's like nobody here says daft. Yeah. I Interesting. All right, so chat, let us know in the comments below your favorite PG level dad salt. I want to hear some good ones because I need more ammunition, and so does Paul,
I
that we
do.
can then
Yeah.
use on each other that is playable on YouTube. So thank you in
Yeah.
advance.
Makes less editing for me. All right. So
Yeah.
the theme of today's show is make a stand, make a statement, get upset about something. What we're gonna do is
Do that all
yeah, that's
the
pretty
time.
much what we do. But anyways,
So a day.
so
Got
be
it.
yourself. So we're gonna be ourselves for a whole bunch of different topics. We have
24 topics.
24 topics. We'll call them categories. And what it's going to
Yep.
be is I'm gonna say something, a thing, and we're gonna kind of take turns here, going back and forth. And Jeff and I are gonna give our best and our worst, the
Hmm.
best and the worst of this thing. So, for example, we'll go for the first one. The first one is give me your best and your worst, Jeff. Time to fish. Time to fish. At what
Best
time during the day is the best, and at what time of the day for you is the worst time to fish?
best is morning, worst is midday, which is often the time I have to fish is midday. So middays, I mean, why it's like that bite window just seems to be way scattered during the middle of the day and spread thin. And I mean, as much as I hate getting up early, it's definitely like when I'm happiest fishing because I'm
Well,
catching.
yeah, I was gonna ask because I mean, I used to have to get up to get to Grand Rapids and vice versa for you to come down. You'd have to
Like
get up to hit a
6,
6 a.m.
5.
window. You're getting up at like 4:45, 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
depending on
Yep.
when sunup
That
is.
sucked.
That is brutal. I mean, because
Yeah.
and then
To
even then you're
drive an hour
still
and 45. Yeah.
and then you're still missing like the real actual sunup. Like you're
Yeah.
unpacking at sunup and you're still
Yeah.
missing it. So that can be really hard. And that's where,
Now
especially
we can get
hunting,
there in 25 in between,
yeah.
or something like that.
And the no,
Would that change with the cloud cover? No, still
no.
morning.
The
And
deal, I
I
mean,
love night fishing too. It's just like if I had to
and
choose one, I'm probably gonna say morning.
The other thing about morning versus night in summertime is the mosquitoes are way worse at night than they are in the
Yeah.
morning. So if you can
Oh
get
yeah.
sunrise, but there
You
is
kind of dodge them.
but there is nothing like fishing the afternoon, going into a wonderful night topwater bite.
Oh, you mean like Houghton Lake trip? That kind
Like
of thing?
any time that you just okay, do you remember that time we were hitting a bunch of little lakes? We were having a
Mm-hmm.
rough time fishing this one lake. We got like a couple of fish, but then
Oh,
right when this sun started
the
going down, top water started just that was
mm-hmm.
it. That was all it was. And you couldn't
Yep.
miss. Like you
Yeah.
couldn't miss. It was like
Whopper
every other
ploppers.
cast, poppers, and it was just that was
Yep.
it. If you had the right popper, you were catching big fish. It was awesome. So
Yeah.
that like it's not gonna happen every time, but that I
Right.
you could make an argument. You could make an argument. But the thing that sucks is on the
Right.
pullout, we got absolutely lambasted by mosquitoes. Pin cushioned even. It was brutal.
Yeah, that's the one where you run to your truck spraying DEET into
God
your
dang,
eyeballs, and you're
man.
like, "Please."
Still not
No.
enough.
All
I've
right. So for
scorched
you,
my retinas, still not enough.
yeah. So are you saying the same?
I would
Morning,
say
midday?
I would say the same. I think
Yeah. Midday
there's
sucks.
never a bad time to fish. So we're
No, I'm
parsing.
on the water for
We're
sure,
parsing
but
here.
like,
But I think
you
yeah,
know,
stepping into a boat at 11:15 is sucky.
you're like,
It's
this is
not
gonna be really hard, and it is.
yeah, and I'm
Which
not
I
gonna
think
have
kind of makes us like better fishermen, through
yeah.
experience because you're fishing that tough time of day. I'm not saying what I'm. That sounds like I'm saying that makes us better than other fishermen because we fish midday. What I
No.
mean to say is it's helping us progress and get better as fishermen.
Personally, not in
Yeah,
comparison to anybody else.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I was first said that I was like, well, that sounds terrible. All right, so next one. You want to alternate on these, or are you going to read
Yeah,
them
yeah,
all?
we'll go over them.
Okay. So next one is best worst kayak footwear. We'll start with winter and then we'll go to summer.
So I
So
will
two
say
questions.
yeah, I'll say the best winter footwear for kayak fishing in the winter. And this is like obviously basically ice out.
Yep.
The best is absolutely a rubber boot that it has to come to your knee. It has to come up to
Yeah.
your knee, like right below the knee.
Yep.
And the insulation is important, but it's not critical. But any rubber boot that and the
Yep.
best one, like the truly best one, is like 800 level insulation. You
Yep.
don't want it to be too much, or you're gonna be a sweaty mess, but you still be dry. And you definitely don't want like your muck boots. Neoprene boots are great, but you can put a hole in them like pretty easily
Yeah.
if they're just straight neoprene. So that is like that puts them in like they're not god tier. They're like top tier. God tier is
Yeah.
like a rubber, non-breathable
Yeah.
neoprene insulated boot.
I got you. I'm on board with that. The only ones I have though are the 1600
They're heavy.
insulants. They're super big. They're super heavy. They're heavily insulated. They're perfect for ice fishing for me because my feet they just they get cold fast. I'm
The
just like
biggest thing, the
burping
biggest
as
thing
I talk.
Yeah, the biggest thing with a kayak though, you have to be able to launch your boat in super cold water
That's
without
the
getting cold
height.
and wet. And
Yep.
that is the deal. That's why you got to have knee highs. But if they go too
Mhm.
high, if they're above the knee or even like in that like the crease above your like right behind your knee,
Yep.
then you can't pedal
Yeah.
and you lose mobility. So like a
Yeah.
knee high, just under knee high boot, and it doesn't matter. I mean, as long as you're not like too big, like but there's not
Right.
really boots that are like too big. Yeah, that's the juice. That's the juice. So you can get in and
Yeah.
out without getting soaked. Um, Clutch, super clutch.
Yeah. I'd agree. So like the main pairs that we wear are like the lacrosse Alpha Burly Pros.
Super fancy.
Yeah, which you had the 800s that just died
They just
this
died. I've had
this
those for
week.
like 7 years, 6 years.
Yeah. So I mean, heavy duty stuff, man. They last and we'll
Yeah,
fish
they
out of
did.
them.
Yep.
I need a lighter pair at some point, but right now I wear my what are they? Not bogs. What's the other one? Muck. I wear my
Yeah.
muck boots. So
That's good for like it's a
right now.
second it's top tier. It's not god
Yeah.
tier. The worst though in winter has got to be just like a tennis shoe.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you will be
Yeah.
so
Or
mad at
hey
yourself.
dudes.
You'll be
when
so yeah,
it's
okay.
basically like just pulling
I'm talking about like
cold wind into your shoe.
anything that I'm talking about like reasonable options. Like a reasonable
Yep.
option would be like a hiking boot. It's
Sure.
not good enough because you can't go in the water and it's
Yep.
not going to keep you warm because it's too tight. And you're
Yep.
going to be so upset.
Very.
I would say that's the worst.
Okay. I'm with that. Total agreement. All right. So summer.
This one we're splitting hairs here.
Mhm.
I
How
That's
much
not a shoe,
houses
Charles.
say?
Barefoot's not a shoe. I think but that's why I would say the Croc is the number one, but there's a
Yep.
huge flaw with a Croc. Massive flaw with a Croc. Like
It holds
gigantic.
all this moisture in
Even
and
worse.
makes your feet
Well,
sweat
because you could
super
take them off.
bad.
You could take the Croc off, which is great.
Yep.
Which is why a flip flop is like a decent option, but I prefer a
Mhm.
Croc.
Yep.
The deal is when you're launching a boat at a boat launch, like an actual ramp, and you're
Mhm. Oh, you
walking
slide
down and
and
it's
die.
wet, you can die. So that's a drawback.
I've done it.
Being dead is a drawback for me. So
Usually.
that is an issue. Like I've legitimately had like held onto my kayak and basically been skiing down, like it's just dragging me down into the water. So
Yeah.
that's a problem. But once you're in the water, like it's the greatest. It's the top.
Yeah.
That is God tier once you're in the boat. Um,
100%.
and then I would say, well, oh yeah, Haley just texted me. She says I'm not allowed to wear Crocs and fish anymore because I actually I stepped on a rock and a rock went straight through my shoe, jabbed me, broke a
This like
piece off, and
obsidian as as an
I was
arrowhead.
in excruciating pain, and I woke up at like 3 a.m. and had to go to the hospital for a second time because I was in such pain. So
Yep.
that was not great. So Crocs I think they're good, but they're not great. I will say the Danner slip-on, like
Yeah.
actual hiking shoe that has like Vibram, it's
Pretty
awesome for
sweet.
launching. Awesome for launching. Super lightweight, drives super fast, and they're easy to take off. So it's sort of like you're kind of getting the bolt like the somewhere in the middle, but there are great options. Tiva type like dad sandal, I think is a
Yeah.
solid option. You're gonna get some
Yeah.
rocks in there, but like that's a solid option.
Yeah.
Um, Flip flops are fine, but you get the same issues launching and you get no
I
protection,
was gonna
none.
say the worst is flip flops to
That's
me
what I was gonna say. I was like,
because
actually,
pedaling
it's not
pedaling
great.
with them is worthless.
Horrible.
I kind of wait.
Say
What's
what was
that?
that, Chas?
Oh,
So
yeah,
that's what
I
I'm
know what
saying.
you're
A
talking about.
Tiva, like that's
Yeah,
like a dad sandal, like a
yeah.
Tiva. Yeah, great.
Keen, Tiva,
Keen, right?
whatever.
I
There
think
you go.
I think that's the God tier option.
Yeah,
Easy to get off, no big deal. If you had to use them to pedal,
breathable.
much better, very breathable.
Yep.
Protection is good. So I think that's God tier. Although I haven't done it, man. I can't go there yet. I'm just not that level of dad yet. I'm just not. I'm not
Fair.
good enough.
All right. Fair enough. I totally agree with those options. So it's like
Tough.
Crocs top for me, and then worse is flip flops because I can't
Yeah.
pedal with them.
Yeah.
They're worthless in a kayak. Absolutely
Yeah.
worthless. All
Not
right.
no bueno.
Made
All
a
right, so
stand.
the next one, what is the best and worst bait to lose while fishing?
Okay, so the best one is honestly anything cheap, and it's probably just like a Texas rig that you had tied on.
That's what I was gonna say. It was a Texas rig. That was right. My mind went right to Texas rig.
If you had
And
that bag of 6 cents lead weights, you're like, yeah, I just
bye.
lost 48 cents.
I agree. There's some drawbacks though. One, pollution. Don't love that.
Nope.
Two, um,
Hey, how
uh,
did that enter this conversation? We're just saying purely
I know. I'm just,
in a vacuum,
I know.
assuming no fish were harmed in this scenario.
Yeah.
Best
So
worst.
and some people might say drop shot, and I would disagree because if you have to retie a drop shot, 10 times more annoying than retie because the leader, all the other stuff. So
Twice
I
the
would say,
time. Usually
yeah,
the weights that we use are
upsetting,
more expensive.
100%.
Tungsten tube weight, not happy to lose
What
that.
about that? I think it's got to be the other thing too. If it was a Senko,
Yeah.
like not a big deal. Like, oh, I lost one of my
But if
six
it's
dozen
a
Senkos.
Gary Yamamoto flapping hog
Four,
and you're like,
$4,
$6 for
yeah.
4 of these,
Yeah,
gosh
exactly.
dang it.
And they're probably sold out in my color. Yeah, I don't.
Or if you're throwing like one of those expensive swim bait plastics or something.
Well,
Like
yeah. So I was actually going to say even more than a Texas weight. I think the one thing I would like to lose the most is just like a ball
wait,
head jig with like generic paddle tail. Like
you
if I
wanna
had to
lose
lose
those?
one, the one I would like to lose the most is a ball head jig with like a generic paddle tail.
Next time we're on the water, you're just like throwing ball head jigs with
I wanted
paddle.
to lose these the most, anyways.
This is the only place I can lose them. Yeah, just throwing them out there. He
That's
wouldn't. Don't
that's my
worry.
vote. I'm switching away from Texas rig, and I'm going to go
It's
cheap
fair. I mean,
ball
just
head jig.
the cheapest setup. I mean, you'd be the
Yeah,
least mad to
yeah.
lose the cheapest setup.
Yep.
What's the
What's the
worst thing to
worst?
lose? For me, out of
I'm
pure experience, without going like, oh, I have a very
I already
expensive
know what
swim
you're gonna
bait.
say. I know
Mine
exactly what
is
it is.
jackhammer chatterbaits
Oh my god, it's
because
like
they're
watching
still
$17 just fly off into the sunset, and you have
Even if
no
you get them
chance
on
of retrieving it.
discount, I get all mine from Carl's Bait and Tackle because I get 35% off. And like whenever I get them, it's 17, you get it for like 12, right? And
Still.
I'm
Oh.
still just that new TikTok that's like
Oh. Oh, I actually did one. I'll do
you
another
did?
one.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll do another one.
Throwing my jackhammer off the end. And you guys, I pure me fashion. I lost the chatterbait that caught me the only fish yesterday at the end of the trip, and that was terrible. It was the cross eyes. It wasn't the jackhammer,
But that's
but it's
still
not
I
cheap.
think
That's
those are
like mid
$8.
range.
I think
Yeah,
those
like
are
eight,
8,
nine
9.
bucks.
That hurts, man. That
Yeah,
hurts.
yeah.
That's a
Oof.
really it's a high dollar value, no return. I will echo that answer, but I won't say crankbaits because they float, so you got a good chance of finding it again.
You lost one this trip.
I
You
did. It
lost.
sucked, but I had a shot at retrieving.
Yeah.
I had a shot at getting it back. So I would
Versus
say
me when mine hit the muck and sunk 48
yes.
feet down.
Yep. Now, I wonder if that's got to be it. I don't know if there's anything that's worth more money that sinks. I mean,
Yeah.
you could definitely could say like some
Yeah,
super high
swim bait's
dollar
the
super
obvious
high dollar
answer,
swim
yeah.
bait's pretty obvious, but like if it's
Yeah.
in a tree, like you can go get it.
And
Like
you
you can
will
get it.
if it's $80.
And most of them float. Right? Am I wrong? Is that
No.
do most of them not?
A lot of them are slow sinks and sinks.
Yeah,
So
well,
you
there
can
you
run
go. I
it.
mean, if you've got one that sinks, which is like apparently most of them, then yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give the alternate answer, which would be a $500 swim bait. I would not like to have accidentally grabbed fluoro instead of mono and just blasted off like
I'm here to
$500.
say if you have a $500 swim bait, you
You don't
didn't grab
care.
fluoro by accident.
Yeah.
No.
Well, maybe you're just not that smart.
You're probably only swim bait. You lost what?
For a buka bullshit? Those are like
The
13 bucks.
$35 ones? $50 ones. Yeah, there's a lot more than just the one MB has. That's a total different
Yeah, I know.
design, size, everything.
Yeah.
But the real ones are like they're pretty expensive.
All right.
It suck.
You want to hit the next one? I
Yeah,
think it's got to be. I think those are your
it's
only two
that.
answers. Yeah,
It's that for
yeah.
sure. Okay. So next one, let's hit up the in boat snack. What's the best boat snack?
But it's got to be in boat. Like we're not talking.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
Now
can't get
there's
out of your boat, go to a restaurant or
no,
something. No.
no, or bring
This
yeah, like
is
no, and
on the
the
water.
considerations are on the water. I would say the best. I think the best I've ever had is like a freshly made, very like it. I have a cooler,
Mhm.
so I would say a cold spicy turkey ham, like spicy mayo turkey ham sandwich
Yeah.
on like ciabatta.
Yep.
That was my that's probably my number one because what happens in the cooler is like the bread gets a little bit moist, and so
Yeah.
it's like but it's cold and crisp,
Yeah.
and then but it's very filling, and it's like the best. Like when it's super hot, there's not like it's incredible.
Yeah.
I think it's a top
I
notch, hard to beat.
I was gonna say that too. Actually, I love taking like a real sand, not a PB&J, like a
None of
real
that, which
sandwich.
is great, but
You're
no.
just like it's like a nice treat on the water, honestly. Yeah. So if you don't have a
Okay.
cooler, what's
If
the
yeah.
best?
So well, and I will say that has to be accompanied by a sugar-free Gatorade, preferably in the light blue,
Or
glacier,
or pink?
or the pink. Those are the
Yep.
two that I would
Green
prefer.
is not a choice. Whatever that green flavor was we
Watermelon,
got
it's
that one time.
horrific.
No, it was like guava or something. It was so
Oh,
gross.
so
Or
that
that.
one, that's one I like.
That's
That one I
different.
like.
No, yeah, that one's fun.
It's refreshing and different, but it's not great all the time. But every once in a while, sure.
Yeah.
The whatever the one we got was horrific. It was horrendous. And
We couldn't finish it. It was so bad.
lemon is terrible
Yeah.
because if it gets at all warm, it's like the stickiest, nastiest
Yeah.
Gatorade that there is.
Lemon is just not a good
And
flavor.
if you buy orange, I don't. I you need to. Something's wrong. You need to
If you
check
buy
yourself. If you buy orange, you
If you
got
buy
issues.
orange, you only ever consumed Gatorade when you were in high school playing football, and it was in a gigantic 50 quart
And that's because it was the
container or
cheapest one
something.
because no one wanted
Yeah,
it.
that's what
Uh,
you always got. It was the powder because the powder is like
Blech.
only comes in 3 flavors or something, like orange or fruit punch.
I don't know.
Lemon lime is that's when you crush it. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so you finish like the little league game, right? You go off and then they're like, yeah, Capri Suns and apples to the other team. But like your team gets Gatorades and like Pop Tarts or some trash. But like You get that you get that mix of Gatorades because Mom
Yes,
bought the assorted pack.
obviously.
You snag that lemon lime,
Yeah,
you are alpha.
yeah.
You are the alpha.
Until dad screams at you for missing that
Nope.
assignment when you were the sweeper. All
Yeah.
right, so wait, did that happen to you? No.
Did that you know?
I know. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Okay, so anyway, so
So
Gatorade covered, separate question.
without a cooler, I would say a non-spicy snack stick, like a beef snack stick
Yeah.
would probably be my number one. Um non-cooler, yeah, you can't really this one is controversial. A non-chocolate original Cliff Bar. They will get melty, but as long as they're non-chocolate, they're a great option.
It's
Great
kinda, like,
option.
warmed up too. It's
Yes,
like a warm
gooey,
cookie
very
at that
good.
point. Yeah. That's a good option because you expect it. Even if you have, like, a thermal lunchbox, like, it's gonna melt.
Yes.
Everything in there is melting.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, like, meat meat and bars that are not
Dried meats.
super chocolatey.
Alternate theory on this one, uh, no chocolate trail mix, very good. It's always good, even when
Yeah.
it's, like, super hot,
Yeah.
like peanuts, you gotta get the cranberries and the
Mhm.
cherries. Those are a good that's a good
Like,
option too.
yeah, for a good mix. I like it.
Oh, one last one, and then I'm
We
done.
got 24
I
questions.
know, this is hard. The Omeals was a
Oatmeal's is pretty
phenomenal
lit because
that
you
was
don't need anything. It comes with everything you
yes,
need. You got your
yes,
plasticware, you got the
yes.
heating element, you
Salt
use the
and
pond
pepper
water.
packets.
Yeah. Like you don't have to use your drinking water. You use the pond water or you just pee in it. Like whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
You know? And then you cook that thing up and you eat it.
and it was good. It
And it was
wasn't big
good.
enough, but it was really good.
Yeah. So not a bad option. I mean, it's like buying a $10 meal or whatever, but not a bad option.
Pretty
All right.
solid. Alright,
So next.
next. Is it me? Bait to catch a fish on. Bait to catch a fish on. Best worst. Charles's
Uh
girlfriend is here. She can't hear us because she won't put
yep.
the headphones on,
Can you hear us?
and
She's
she's
gonna put
gonna
the
do it.
headphones
She's putting
on.
the headphones on. All
All
right,
right, guest producer.
tell me
Hi,
more.
introduce yourself to everyone. We're not live.
Yep, we
Don't
can't
worry.
hear you. You're
It's
muted.
just us.
So wonderful. Yep, she's on mute. She's gonna unmute it. There it is.
There you
Oh,
go.
hey,
Hi. Right?
you're just now discovering this? What room is he in?
Oh no, you did unmute. We invited her to. Wait, introduce yourself to everybody before you bail.
Hi,
Hi,
Caitlin.
Caitlin.
Thanks for joining the show. Where's DDR2 RAM XTI
Your cat.
GeForce? Your cat.
Your
If you're
cat's name is
wondering.
G-Force, right?
No, Chaw's
Oh,
trying to mute her.
Chaz.
All right. Anyways, all
Chaz
right.
being
We're never
bad.
gonna get through the show. All
All
right.
right, anyway, so let's get back to it. Next question.
Best and worst bait to catch a fish on.
The oh man, that's interesting.
Yes.
So, all right, so best bait to catch a fish on for me,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's going to be really tough to top water is such an easy
I
go-to.
know. I know.
So all right, so if I don't go with the obvious of like a frog, like
Frog.
yeah, okay, cop out, best answer, making a stand, that's a cop out.
I don't think frog though is
Frogs.
necessarily the best because I would argue that like a walking bait or a popper, I think you can make the argument is better than a
I mean,
frog.
I enjoy it, and I enjoy catching fish on jerk baits because I think they slam them.
That's what jerkbait
What
was one. Ooh.
but what I would say is a chatterbait, and I would say a chatterbait just because it's that like you're always running it, right?
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah, yeah.
unlike a spinner bait, I mean, it's the one piece construction, usually heavier wire, and you can just slam them.
Back
So
the jaw.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I love just getting smoked because you always get smoked too because it's moving, it's loud, it's
You
a
do get
huge
thumped. You do
reaction.
get thumped.
You just get a pull and then you go boom and then you fight them in. You're usually fighting like on a medium heavy combo and like you got heavier braid on there to a fluorocarbon leader. Like it's to
I have
me, that's like tops. And I
I have
just did
okay.
that like yesterday. So that
You
was
d-
super sweet.
you discussed a lot of the ones that I would say. So like some sort of
Hmm.
top water. I like the open water top water because I like the splash more than I like the blow
And the
up in the
pads where
pads. So
it
I will
like
say open water
bubbles.
top water.
Yeah.
But what I will say is this. This is gonna be a this is a thinking man's answer.
Oh,
I will
wow. I
say
guess
it's
I
the
wasn't thinking,
you
guys.
weren't. It's the
Get
bait.
bent,
The
loser.
one I will say is it's the bait that you don't expect to catch a fish on. For example, you
Okay.
throw on a jig and you're like, I'm never gonna catch, and then 10 minutes later, you get absolutely like slammed. Nothing
Yeah.
like it. They're like first time they've thrown shaky head, and all of a sudden it's your favorite
Right.
bait. You're running a lipless, right? If you had caught a giant
Mhm.
fish that day, like that would have been better, even I think, than a
Yeah.
tap water. So I will say, whatever bait you think you're
Yeah.
not gonna catch a fish on, that you're trying, and then all of a sudden it happens for you. That's my
Yeah.
answer.
And you're saying that you're not thinking you're going to catch on it because, like, for example, you got it in a box, right? Or it's a brand new technique or whatever. Not
Yes.
because you're like, this won't work for these conditions. I'll throw it anyways. It's
Yeah,
more
no, or like, well,
like,
I don't know how to use it, I don't know how to fish it, but oh my god,
yeah,
it worked. Like that's the one, like the one you think like I have no
yep,
faith or confidence, and then all of a sudden it works for you. Like,
yep.
oh,
It was
I'd,
my
I'd say
first
that's my
time
number
on it.
one.
I can think of like a couple very just in my brain ones right now would be like first time I was fishing the Tokyo rig and I got like some giants on my lake, and then the Carolina and the St. Lawrence
Yeah, dude,
when it
it
just
makes a
like
big difference. It makes a
clicks.
bit
Yeah.
it, and those are like memories. Like you don't remember every topwater bite you've ever had,
Right.
but like dude, they get
Some of
those
them,
moments. Yeah, but
the
those
day
moments get
fishing the spider, every
those
single
moments.
catch was
Yeah.
like registered to memory for life
They do
because
though,
it was
like
a
those
spider.
the
I
one
was like,
yeah, but
what?
the ones that stick out to me are when like I did not expect to be as successful as they were. So that's my
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah. All right. I like it.
Worst.
We already hit flavor
Mine
of
is
Gatorade.
mine
Oh
my
wait, are we
worst.
still on? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, we're still on this one.
my worst, I would
Worst.
say spoon. It's not fun. Everything about spoon fishing like
You
bothers me
complain.
now.
You complain about spoons as much as our guys down south complain about Neds. Which, by the way, thanks to whoever commented, "I'd rather be dead than
Yeah.
Ned,"
What was
and
that?
also good for you, guy. Like
Yeah.
what? You're
Oh, that
still
was weird.
fishing. Why are you mad,
Someone
bro?
commented, I'd rather be dead than fish a Ned. Which I like the alliteration. I hated the sentiment. I don't know what to tell you, my guy. I understand it. I understand it. And it's not that
Disliked
spoon
entirely.
fishing, and I mean like vertical jigging a spoon. I get like
Yeah.
zero joy out of it. Ice fishing
No,
totally
I'm
different.
with
During the
you.
day, I don't love it. I'm not
Oh,
what?
we haven't done that. He hates the spoon so much. We'll get him to it.
I like
Anyways,
spoons, but I'm never gonna fish them, and I get no joy out of catching fish with them.
fair enough. Fair enough. So the worst for me is tough because I am kind of on the side of like I'll fish anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean
But you have to
I
pick one. Make a stand. It's the name of the show.
don't want to make a stand.
All
I'm
right,
tired of this,
Jeff's.
grandpa. No, no, no. I'm gonna answer. I'll answer. So
Okay.
the worst. Oh, what is like the least fun for me to catch something on? That's super lame. I don't know, man. That's so freaking hard. I guess I would say that I don't want to answer this question.
He literally just got done saying he would
Yeah.
answer.
So I'm changing my mind. I can't think of anything.
I got one for you.
I'm never like mad.
I got another thinking man's answer for you.
Oh God.
We're going to theory.
Yeah.
What? All right. No,
What?
here, Chaz, I got this. So this is Jeff's answer. It's the bait that you know is gonna work every single time, but you know is never gonna get you a decent fish.
Okay. What's that bait for you? Name
It's
one.
gonna be for example, it could be a Ned rig when you know it's gonna work, but
Yeah.
you're never gonna catch a decent fish. You
I
just
was gonna say
know.
drop shot is probably
Sure,
that
drop
answer for
shot.
me.
That scenario. It doesn't have to be specific bait. It's the one where you're like, God, I just know this is gonna keep working, but I'm never
Yeah.
gonna get a decent fish doing this. So it could be
Yeah.
anything, but it's just that scenario. You're like, I could keep doing this, or I could
Right.
switch it up and try and catch like a decent fish.
Right. It's kind of like hunting the river and we're only catching the tinies on like
Yes, and
the DK Junior. And then
you
yeah.
know until you switch it up and figure it out, you're not catching the biggest fish of the day. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. All right. I'll accept that and adopt that as my answer.
Cool.
What?
What?
All
Jaws, go back on
right.
mute.
Moving on. Wading outfit. Best
Dude.
worst wading outfit.
Yep. So like wet wade, waders. Like
Oh,
what's
wet
the
wade.
setup?
Best. Oh, setup?
Yeah, total in general.
Everything I bring. This is why we're
What
never gonna hit
shoes?
24
What shoes?
questions.
Go fast. No,
Okay.
just like shoot, just like yeah. So if it's wet wade, what's the footwear?
Right now it's those Danners,
Is that
Danner
the move though? Because
slip-ons.
you've gone to the neoprene sock.
All right, so my specific is the Danner shoes with the neoprene sock,
This is
bird
like a fine
dogs.
tune. This has taken
Hang
years
on.
to get to.
Yeah, that's very true. Bird dogs, because they
Mhm.
are hands down the best thing to be like
They
wet and then
really are.
dry with.
They
They're
really are.
fantastic, and they have a liner that's insanely comfortable.
Primo.
Uh, then just a sun shirt
Mhm.
and my, what is it? The fish pond
The
waterproof
waterproof bag.
bag with
Thunderhead.
with basically two 37 or two 3600 boxes, like the tiny guys,
Uh-huh.
one Plano Edge, one Busby, and then a single bag of plastics, like the little Monster Bass bags that we have. I'll fill
We
it with
recently
just
changed though.
plastics.
I'm now doing one 3600 Plano regular and then a
Mhm.
terminal. The 3600
That's what
terminal.
I meant by the Plano.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my Busby is my go-to river box, and then I have the 3600 Plano terminal box. Yeah, so that, and then usually it's the ultralight rig that I run. You just changed yours up, but I'll probably still keep bringing my ultralight. Only if we're only doing one, I'm probably gonna bring that and just deal with it. But that's the 13 Fishing Silver. It's the, what is it,
The
five
5 silver.
six
5.6
ultralight.
ultralight. Yep.
Yeah, and then I have the Akuma Inspira reel on that with 8 pound braid, 6 pound fluoro.
I would
Eight
agree
pounder.
with all that. I don't need the neoprene sock. I'm okay with a couple rocks. I appreciate the freedom.
Wow. I
I
appreciate the comfortability.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. You need protection though on the toesies. That's a big deal, and you need the
Yeah.
grip. You do need the
We've
grip.
tried a lot of shoes wet
A lot of
weighted,
different
guys.
shoes. They're
And this
these are
is our
the
conclusion, because
so far.
Crocs make you feel like you can kick things, but then if you kick something, you lose a toenail. So
Yeah, it's
no, thank
horrific,
you.
and you will always get silt like stuff in them, and you
Yep.
can't get it out without taking
That
your
one
shoe off.
rock
It's
that rolls to the front, and you're just like,
right to the
"That's
right under the
never coming
ball of
out."
your foot. It's horrific.
Then go ahead and just hop on one foot while you're in heavy
It's
current
dude,
on
it's
uneven
and you
ground
get
while you're trying to shake it out.
no traction. It's just a
Yeah.
it's a bad scenario.
Yep.
The shorts are the critical.
Bird dogs, people,
Bird dogs are great. Now, the nice
get
thing
on
about the
it.
Thunderhead pack, especially if you are into the whole like YouTube thing, is you can carry your batteries and charge them inside there without worrying about getting them wet. It's a huge deal,
Even
massive.
if you submerge it,
It doesn't matter. It's a
you can use it
huge. That
as
is a
a life preserver like we did.
yeah. It's a flotation device too. It's a
Yeah.
massive help. It also has a
Yep.
rod holder on it, which is great. Um, I would recommend going up in size on the rod. So I do a 7-1 extra fast, medium light, and I
Mhm.
can cast really light jigs, like super light, mule fishing jigs, no problem.
Mhm.
But you can also, if you get a big fish in the current, like I mean, like a big fish, it's not even an issue. You don't have to think about it at
Mhm.
all. It's not a problem. So
Mhm.
yeah, you could go either way. But yeah, the only I don't think I don't think I would change other than non-neoprene sock. I don't think I would change a single thing. And it is the best. It's the most fun way to fish the river
Yep.
because it doesn't matter how deep it is. You can still swim up
Just swim.
or get out and walk up or
Better than
whatever.
waders. You don't have to
It's a
worry about
non-issue. You don't
getting
have to
above
worry
your
about
chest.
popping a hole in your waders. You don't have to worry about water getting inside of them. None of that.
So worst would be your neoprene waders that have holes in
100%.
them.
Yes, and even when they don't have holes on them, neoprene waders, like chest
The
duck hunting
worst.
waders,
Yep.
you're sweaty and you have
Like
these like
boot
clunky boots.
attached with, yeah.
And if you have pants underneath, you have to like they're very uncomfortable because they'll like ride
Yep.
up to your calf. Like there's just a
Yep.
lot of problems. I will say my backup option would be like an ultralight Gore-Tex wader. That's a
Yeah.
great. I mean, and that's worth the money. Is worth the investment every single
Yep.
time. But yeah, the
Especially
worst is
on
for
warmer
sure like
days.
super heavy, thick neoprene waders is the worst. It gets
Yeah.
the job done, but it's the worst.
Yeah. Super uncomfortable. All right. Let's speed up these answers
I'm
so we can
ready.
get to
I'm ready.
24.
I'm
I see
ready.
some good ones down there. All right.
Yeah.
So best worst bait caster.
This one's really hard. I have to think about this one for a second.
All right.
The yeah, the best. It's hard because I haven't gotten to use a couple of reels that I would like to use. For me right now, I still have my answer is probably still gonna be that tournament XP.
Yeah.
That higher end lose
Yep.
just freaking nice and solid.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would say if I gave a thinking man's answer, I'm just gonna put these in straight up categories,
I
right?
like it.
Best for
Yeah.
me, best for me on the water because it's most enjoyable is like a $150 to $250 range reel, and the
Yep.
worst for me is a $50 reel. And I mean, it's one that performs like an over the counter plastic clamshell I got at Walmart kind of one. And
The
there's some
the
you might get
reason
on
I
like Amazon or something.
the ones that
I'm
the
usually
ones
pretty
that
upset.
though I will say this, the line for me is when if I catch a 2 to 3 pound fish and I can feel
Yeah.
torque,
Oh,
like
it's twisting.
I can feel the
Yeah. Some
reel
of the
twisting
yeah.
on
Yep.
the when it's pulling. That reel I will hate forever. I had
Yep.
one. It was a graphite. I don't want to talk trash. It was a decent reel. I just gave away another one
Yeah.
because I was
It
like,
was it was an off brand and you
oh, it was
can
a high
fill in the
no, it was a
blanks.
high end brand. It was a real
Oh, that
yeah.
one? Okay.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually
Yeah.
just gave another one away because the kid at the gym is like into fishing,
Yeah.
and I was like, I just brought him probably
Take this.
$300
Get
worth of
away from
stuff.
me. Yeah.
Well, it's a good combo, but like it bothered
Yep.
me, and I now have zero faith in it, and I hate fishing with it.
None.
So that would
None.
be
Yeah.
my worst would be any reel that twists when you get like a 2+ pound fish. If it's twisting under that, I'm out. I'm out.
Flexi frame is nonsense.
I'm out.
I mean, and the one that in order to dial it where it doesn't bird's nest itself, like I can think of the
Oh
speed
god,
demon for
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
means you have to torque the the spool tension down like all the way, and you have to just
yeah. To
freaking
get four
fight it.
feet of
Yeah.
yeah.
But
That's fair.
otherwise, it just overspools every time, and you're
Oh,
like,
so
"There's literally nothing I can do about this." Which is why,
brutally
like,
annoying.
I'm all about not premium.
No.
I'm not talking about like lose pro tie. We're talking like 150
125,
$200 range. Like
$130, you can get a
I'm
great
pretty darn
aluminum.
happy with those all
Yes,
the time.
yes.
The
I would
Hakai
agree.
was fantastic this weekend. I love that
I got
thing.
it was pretty nice.
That is the one I broke off my chatterbait on, but it
It's
was my
so
fault. I was
light. It
also
is
casting directly into the wind the whole day, and it didn't matter what lure weight I was throwing at the time. Like I could just dial it immediately and throw it out. I was like, "This is
the
sick."
dial was clutch.
The dial's pretty sweet, and I put it on the Psycho stick. So it's the lightest. That setup like floats
It
out of
weighs
my hand, and I'm like, "No,
nothing.
no, no, come back!"
That's insane.
Like
It
it's so
does not weigh
ridiculous.
anything. It doesn't weigh
All
anything.
right,
It's
so
great.
next spinning reel.
The worst base cat. Oh yeah, yeah. Best spinning reel. I have to say that Zada spinning reel
You're still a huge
is
fan. Okay.
I am a
Yeah.
huge I've caught a
Yeah.
lot of fish on it, and it's that I will say any spinning setup that has quality drag,
Mhm.
like that you can feel instantly,
Yeah.
that has a sturdy frame, but comes in a good
Yep.
it has to come in a 1,500 to 2,000 size, like that
Mm.
right in that
That
low
in between
medium
size.
size.
Yeah. I agree.
That's my premium. That's gonna be my favorite one.
Yeah. So this is again, I would say, it's going to be one that if we specify like the type, like the feel
Sure.
of that
Yeah, yeah,
reel,
yeah. Yeah.
like I want it to feel smooth. It's got a thicker bail, so it's like that's not going to bend. It's
That's a
when you
no go for me.
yeah, when you open that bail, like I want that to be smooth as well. Like I'm talking
Mhm.
out of the box. I understand like you could overhaul any reel, sure.
Eh,
But more importantly, what you can't overhaul is how sturdy it feels just when you're cranking on the drag. Like if you're reeling in a fish, I want that to feel smooth. When I'm just standard reeling in, I want that to feel good. I want that
mhm.
wobbliness. Even when you tighten the handle down all the way, or
Yep.
like the knob just comes wobbling.
That's
You're
the
like,
one
okay,
that
cool. Like
oh,
something is shaking on you
yes.
shake it and it's just like
Yes.
wobbling all over the place.
Yes.
I hate that.
Yes.
I don't want a flimsy one. I want a
I know.
nice sturdy setup. And I don't care if I'm fishing ultralight. Like that Inspira has performed really well for me. I had a nightmare with a Shimano Sahara because
I hate that reel.
that
I
reel
hate it.
hurt my
I hate it
soul.
because everyone says like get it, get it, get it.
80
And
bucks,
I see
it's like go
everyone
for it.
fishing. I see a lot of people fishing the higher end like the was it Sedona? Is that the nice one?
I don't know. Like the $200+ ones, right? It's like
I see it and
250
I'm like I
range.
get mad
Yeah.
because I'm like if I end up in that same scenario or even at somewhere close to it, I don't need it. I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. I don't know why you put this on here. Fishing glove. Best
Dude,
worst type of fishing glove,
how many okay, I have
including iced season,
yes, yes,
or
I'm
are you
thinking all
speaking
around.
mostly ice?
I'm talking all around. So we'll
Okay,
talk
all
ice.
around. Fair
We'll talk
enough.
ice. I'm talking all around. So
Uh
there's a
huh.
couple things with gloves, like, and this has
Yep.
become like my new shoe thing where I'm like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
kind of want to get a dial. I
Yep.
tried neoprene gloves. Pros on neoprene. They can get very wet without getting you wet, which is great.
Mhm.
Drawbacks is they don't come in a mitten, so they're not actually that warm. But they just keep the
Right.
cold water off you, which is like nice. But you can
Mhm.
fish in them more effectively because like they're really tactile and they're sturdy.
Yep.
Um, Super thick, like Gore-Tex fluffy gloves. They're
Yeah.
great because they come on and off pretty easy and they keep you much warmer.
Right.
However, you can't like operate a phone.
Do
You can't like
anything.
grab stuff. You can't do. You're not.
Yeah.
They're
I
kind
hate
of
wearing that
useless
stuff.
and they're expensive. They're
Yeah.
like the $90 plus range. Super annoying.
Yep.
Flip top mittens are clutch. Now,
Have to have a
now
snap, not a
what
magnet.
I
Snap.
think the magnet's pretty darn good, but the snap is you can make an argument either way. I will say this: they cannot be fleece.
Yeah.
They must
Oh,
be
yeah, yeah, yeah.
neoprene. They must be neoprene.
Neoprene. So those fish monkeys I have, I was gonna
Hun-
say were
They're
mine.
$90 though.
Well, they're 75, but at any rate, there
They're
are
cheap. They
cheaper
ain't
options
cheap.
out there. But I
Now
mean, I like them because it's got
a
the flip
knit,
thumb
yes,
snaps,
yes,
like, and it's neoprene, thick.
a knit mitten is very good. A wool mitten is very good, but hooks get in it, and then you're screwed. You're
Yeah,
totally screwed. Like once a hook gets into a
it's
wool
such a
mitten,
nightmare.
it's over. Now I will say, if it's super like fingerless gloves are a phenomenal option
Yeah,
when it's not super cold. They're a great option. Like a real like
all the time.
that's actually what I leave in my boat right now for this time of the year.
Yep,
But it is,
same.
dude, it's tough getting all that dialed. And I will say the
Yeah,
best one overall is a neoprene flip top. The worst, I think the worst is like a I can't say a thick mitten, so I will say a flea or a thick glove. So I will say a fleece glove is the worst
yeah,
glove. It doesn't
yeah.
protect you nearly enough from wind, it doesn't keep you warm enough, and
Doesn't
you
do
still don't
anything.
get any benefit from like having your fingers exposed. Like
Yeah.
you get nothing.
So
So
it's
I will
kind of like
say
those
fleece gloves the worst.
North Face, Columbia, etc.
Trash.
Makes
Trash,
them,
trash,
yeah,
trash, trash, trash.
absolute
You're
garbage.
gonna there's
All
only
right.
like one 10-degree window that's like decent.
All right, so here's what we're going to do for the remainder of the episode. And if you guys like this type of content, we'll do this live. We'll come up with some different ones. And on these next bunch that we
Yes.
hammer out really fast, because this is
Yes.
an actual lightning
Yes.
round,
Yes.
we will elaborate if you want. So let us know in the comments below if you like this. And because we're not live, we're not doing a giveaway right now for this episode, but we appreciate y'all for watching and listening. And also, thank you to Monster Bass for sponsoring the show. We'll continue our giveaways, and maybe we'll double up that Monster Bass gift card
Oh
on the
yeah.
next live, as well as we're still giving away our Missile Baits Baby D bombs, the Burly's candy color. A lot of you guys have been getting this, and you've been letting us know that you really like the color, so we appreciate that a lot. But we're going to give away a bag of that next week as well. Maybe two. Maybe, like I said, we'll double up just because we missed you for a week live. So don't miss the next live. All right. So for the next 10
Man,
questions,
we had
it's
a
a
lot.
lightning round,
Yeah.
no explanation.
Yep.
You just say your best, your worst. I'll say my best, my worst. Cool.
All right.
Okay. So starting with pedal kayak, no explanation, best, worst.
Well, this the Hobie 360 Pro Angler 14 foot. It's
You
not
stole my
close.
answer.
Ooh, weird. The worst, the worst, the the worst is anything that's 10 feet. I
Ooh,
don't
yeah,
care
yeah,
what
yeah.
the answer is. If it's 10 feet, it's the worst.
There is an answer. It'll be like if it's 10 feet, it's a pedal kayak that we're talking, and it's prop, and the prop is like not that heavy duty one.
The flip over.
Yeah, just garbage prop. Nope. You're gonna be so mad. All right. Paddle kayak.
Best paddle kayak. I am gonna switch. I'm gonna go Old Town, and it doesn't have to be the
Sportsman.
Predator. It can be any. It can be any of them, but I don't want the widest one they make. They make like a 38-inch one, I think. So
Ooh,
like
that's
I think
wider than the Hobie,
yeah, it's
isn't
super
it?
wide. I think it's the
Wow.
top water. It's one of them, but
Hmm.
I do think the Predator was an amazing the Predator MX mixed water Predator MX.
Yeah, if I had an Old Town again, I would definitely love to have like just the newest MX. I dig that. So not to go straight with that, I would probably go with New Canoe. And I mean my answer was going to be Old Town. I'm just giving a different answer, but I would say the New Canoe, like the what is it, the Frontier. They had a new one that came out this year. Gosh dang it, I forgot the name. It was the one, it was like their new fishing one that they had. It was specified for fishing. So I'd say for
The
me,
Frontier 12.
thank you, that one. So that one, and then worst.
The worst is the
No back,
not
no
the yeah.
seat,
Yeah,
open top.
the worst is a sit inside, anything that's sit inside and 10 feet or less with no skeg. Like that
Sun
is
Dolphin.
the Sun Dolphin 8-footer
Sun
is the
Dolphin,
absolute worst kayak that's ever been made. I don't
it's
care.
$180.
I don't care
It
what you're using
floats.
it for. I don't care how cheap it is. It is horrific. You
I
cough.
cut myself so many times because the
Shredded.
inside, it's a 2-piece, and the inside are all sharp edges.
You don't need to say
like
anything
sitting
else.
in a bed of
The
daggers.
worst. It's so bad. Everything about it's awful.
Okay. Best worst bladed jig.
I have great answers for this right now.
I bet you do.
The best bladed jig is the. Does it really matter? I'll say.
I'm just giving him the death stare right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide how important the painted blade is.
Pretty important. You know
Thunder,
the difference it makes.
Do I want to say Thunder Cricket?
I had a feeling you were going to do that, and I'm always going to say the Z-Man jackhammer. As far as right now,
I'm gonna go Thunder Chicken.
If things change, I'll let you know. Thunder Chicken's always been my number 2.
Yeah.
And actually, the cross-eyes jig is now my number 2. Then Thunder.
That is a great answer. But I'm gonna stay with Thunder Cricket. There's a wide variety.
That's
painted blades. Yeah, I'm happy.
Worst.
Well, I've just discovered that I absolutely despise the Booyah. What's it called?
The Booyah Melee.
Ah, dang! I hate that thing. I'm gonna post about it tomorrow.
Oh, and we're not including the Lunker Hunt. What is that? The Bully blade?
No, it's not
exactly. That's not that's not factoring into this decision
because it is the worst, and it's not.
It would be the answer.
That is the answer.
Fair enough. Jig. I'm going with type.
Okay.
Type of jig.
I think my favorite type of jig is a finesse, like a heavier finesse football jig.
Football jig. I got you.
Yeah, but I want it with a screw lock, and I want the short stubby hook.
Yeah.
To me, that can do almost anything. Obviously not flip.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't roll in the river. The ones with the taller, more stout hooks, they don't roll as much.
Yep. So my answer was going to be, I'll just go with it. The hybrid jig from 6 Cents, something like that. Because it I mean, it's tapered, but yet has that big flat side. Yeah. All right. Ned.
We didn't do worst.
We didn't do worst jig. Okay, worst jig for me would actually be a big football jig, just because I don't know how to do it. Oh, there's no explanation on this round. Big football jigs.
There's no bad jigs out there, so I'm gonna say
I love them all. That was tough.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a 2-ounce pitching, flipping, like punching jig. I don't
punch
need
rig.
It.
Yep,
I don't
fair.
need it.
All right, Ned. Plastic.
Bait or plastic. The best Ned.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. Okay. Yeah. The leech, Nico Leech.
Okay, so including wide range. It's gotta be the Donkey Tail Junior. Like I'm counting that as a Ned just because it's caught me the most fish.
Yeah, that would be tough to give up for me. I consider that more.
I could never give it up. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I could never give it up. The worst is there's bad Neds.
There are. You want me to get mine?
Yeah.
Okay, so the worst for me for the Ned would be the Lunker Hunt worm. Mm-hmm.
Just
comes
the
pretty
regular
sometimes.
worm?
Yeah, the little Ned worm.
Oh.
Does nothing. And it's falls apart.
I think the you know what one doesn't do you know what one doesn't do anything for me that I know catches fish and is gonna probably make people mad is actually the X Zone Ned Zone. It does nothing for me.
That was up there. I would have put the Ocho before that.
I like the Ocho.
I don't like the Ocho.
Yeah.
All right. Braid.
Spider
You're-
wire.
Really?
I have spider wire.
Oh, worst. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no,
I
best
was
grade.
like,
Yeah, sorry,
best?
I went straight to worst.
You
So
did.
spider wire is my least favorite.
Same.
This one, I'm not braid
Best is
loyal.
tough.
I'm not braid loyal. I'll give you the best type. A Power Pro type where you can find it
Mhm.
everywhere. It's not too expensive and
Yep.
it works
Yep.
pretty well
Yep.
in either I hate to say green, but it's got to be the moss green. But
Yep.
really, the one that I like gravitate the most, if I can only pick one, it's got to be neon.
Yeah. I was gonna say the same. Easier to find. Anyways, fluoro.
Yeah, the best has got to be the P-Line Tactical if you can get it anymore.
Yep.
The Tactical is so much more soft than the regular.
Mhm.
The regular's fine, but P-Line Tactical
Mhm.
probably.
Affordable. Good. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Worst. Any type of modified like stretch.
That's what I was
or
gonna say. Like
thing.
any hybrid fluoro, any hybrid
I
fluoro. I don't want it. I
just
don't care. I don't need it.
no, thank you. Kayak pants.
The adventure pants, cool adventure pants.
Agreed.
The ones
They
with the
got to be
stretchy gusset.
breathable, quick
The
dry.
one with
Yeah.
the stretchy gusset, and then the stretchy part going down the leg. Those are outstanding.
Flex waist, thighs, knees, everything. The whole thing.
Just-
I need flex material because.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyways, worst
Frog
heavy
togs.
jeans. Oh, really? Well, yeah.
Yeah, the big balloon pants. They get ripped.
Like jeans, dude. Especially tighter jeans. They stay wet forever. I hate them. Anyways,
Josh says khakis. I think
corduroys.
I'll give
Hang
you
on.
pleated
Corduroys.
pants. Cords. Yeah. You know what's the worst about jeans though is when you get a
Gardening
hook.
overalls.
When you get a hook in them, their
Yeah.
pants are ruined. A
Yep.
treble hook through there is just disaster.
Jeans suck. All right,
Yeah.
we got to go faster on the next few.
I'm ready.
Guggen baits. Any Guggen bait or
The best is probably it's got to be either the Bandito bug or the Rattle and Ned. For me, it'll be the Rattle and Ned because I've actually used it a lot more.
Bandito bug for me. I have used the Rattle and Ned a lot. Caught a lot of fish on it. Hate fishing it.
Yeah, the Bandito bug is
Bandito
pretty
bug.
solid bait. It's good.
This includes hard baits too.
I'm not gonna say whatever I'm gonna do. Whatever it thinks I'm gonna do.
Freak out. I found one on the side of the water we were fishing.
Yes,
so
you did.
worst, you're gonna say the Guggen banger, and I found one hookless. You weren't?
I'm not gonna do what everyone thinks I'm gonna do.
Fine. Yeah, what are you gonna say?
The frog.
The frog's fine.
The frogs are fine.
Nothing wrong with frog.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with frogs.
All right, what's the worst?
I actually don't really know. I will say the long worms that they make, the ribbon worms, they're kind of like very generic and they're kind of expensive.
Mondo worm.
Yeah, I'd say they're.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like meh, but they're all just plastics, man. There's nothing really wrong with them. I don't have an answer, honestly.
Yeah, worst would be tough, but I would say worst experience with one would be the Kraken craw, because durability is just straight trash. I want a craw to survive for a while.
1 minute would be nice.
Yeah. All right. Fishing.
Yeah, we all know the number one is hands down, not even close. The birdie doggies in the original, it's like the 7-inch. Yeah.
Yeah. The mid. You don't want this. I have.
You don't want the
fivers.
Shorts. If you go fivers, you're gonna be scorching, my guy.
You're gonna be balls. All right. Worst.
Well, we went straight to PG-13. Worst has got to be a 12-inch basketball short.
I was close. Board shorts for me.
I'm gonna go 12-inch nylon basketball short.
Yeah.
That's horrific.
Yeah. All right. I like it. Kayak crate. Well, I don't like it. Kayak crate. Best worst.
It depends on if you have a Hobie or not. If you have a Hobie, it's gonna be the H crate because that thing is clutch.
It's
and heavy duty.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will say the Yak Attack black box.
That's what I was gonna say. Is the black box
wilderness systems setup? I hear a lot. I would say worst is honestly just the milk crate. Like I know it's free, but it's like
I would say the worst is actually the downgrade of the black box. They make a lower grade one that's kind of expensive, but it falls. It's like really flimsy. Yeah. The nice thing about a milk crate, super sturdy, and it just does its job for $0. So I can't dog it.
I've done it, and I
I've done it, and it works. So it's like,
yeah, I just hated it.
Yeah.
Camera on the water. Action cam. You like that?
Is this a real question?
Yeah. There's a lot. There are a lot of cameras,
I've
and
not
a
used
lot of
I've
people
not
on YouTube fish a lot of different
I've
cameras. It's
not
not a
yeah, I've
GoPro
not
world anymore.
I know, so I'm
This
saying,
is
but
a
I've not
valid
used
question.
I know, but I don't know I can't answer because I've never used anything but a
Yeah,
GoPro.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
You say
So
that.
the best is GoPro.
This is for participation too. People gonna comment.
I know. I would
I wanna
like to
hear
hear
it.
everyone else because I would actually like to hear for the money whether or
Yeah,
not you think it's worth it to have the 9 or the 10 or just run the 4 and
yeah.
get what you get.
Oh yeah, that's I mean, I know that the 4 is absolute garbage for footage for me. Like I hated it.
I know a lot of people
And
that
you
still
can
use
tell
it and couldn't tell you the difference.
I could. Like,
Yeah.
I
I
saw such a huge difference switching
I
mine,
thought yeah,
but
I
then it
know
comes
people
down
that
to,
are
like,
still running those.
8, 9, 10. So, I mean, I'd say the 9. Like, the 9 just because 'cause it'll be more
Sweet
affordable
spot.
right now, and it's a sweet spot. It's, like, super customizable. It's the same shape as the 10. You can use the
The
same
front
cases, like, whatever.
screen is clutch. All right,
Front screen
anyways.
makes a huge difference. Alright,
Worst
worst.
camera, cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
Only because you're down a camera. Like,
Yeah.
I use it for so many other things, I'd have to, like,
Mhm.
detach it dude, that's the only
Mhm.
reason. It works great, but
Yeah.
as I would have to have something else to, like, take pictures and stuff.
Yeah. Polaroid. Old Polaroid. Worst camera. Alright.
What's next on the list?
Camera battery was next. So camera battery, we're talking like
Oh god, no,
regular
this is not
batteries,
close. This isn't
external
close.
battery, different
This
type of
isn't
external. Like what's the
external
rig?
battery, it's not close, and I do think don't get it too big of a one, you're gonna be mad.
Hmm.
Get a smaller power bank that's what you want is a medium
Hmm.
power bank, and it'll change everything for you.
Best for me has been the YOLO Tech. That thing to me, I don't know why you hate it. I've been so comfortable
It's
and fine,
too
and I can
much for
pop it
me.
off.
Yep,
I'm
I
not
get it.
attached to my
I hear
battery.
you.
I can
Too much for
film.
me.
We film on mine for my intro outros. It's
Too
always on
much
my
for
camera.
me. It's too much for me.
You're wearing a life
I
jacket,
respect
bro.
your decision. I respect your decision. This is
I
too much for me.
respectfully deny your decision.
I I s
All
I will
right.
decline.
Worst batteries in the
The worst
GoPro.
batteries are the
When you
knockoff
have a
GoPros.
well, I mean, sure. All right. So worst type of battery. I mean, worst
Knockoff
type of like rigging for powering your camera to me is any battery. But I'm agreeing with you.
yeah.
You know those knockoff ones. They die so fast. They don't last that long. Yeah, hundred
They
percent.
take forever to charge. You gotta keep them separate. You gotta keep them waterproof. It's horrific.
But in general, like the last thing you want to do when you're on the water is change your freaking batteries every
I
30
have
minutes.
cussed it's bad. So, no, that is
Incessantly. All
not
right,
good
2
for
more
me.
questions.
Yes.
So, kayak power system. We don't have any. So we say just from the looks, like from what you've seen from price points, we've done a lot of research recently. So I figured this would be a valid question, and then you guys can find out what we're
You're
actually
talking
putting in our
about, like,
boats later.
to power
Yeah.
everything?
Yeah. What's your system?
I think the best is one the legit best is probably the smallest battery that you can get away with to
Mhm.
power everything that can go in hull.
Yeah.
That's the best. The worst is one that weighs so much and can't provide the power you want and has to go on the
Yeah.
outside. That's the
Yeah.
worst.
Like bottom level, big
A
black
a
battery.
12, like a marine battery that
Yeah.
weighs 45 pounds that has to go on the back of your boat that can't be
Contributes
waterproofed
next to nothing for
and
you.
doesn't do what
Yeah.
you need it to do. That's the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. And the best.
Yeah, the best is one that
Oh,
fits
we
in
said that.
hull.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the in-haul, the worst is the super heavy on the back one. So totally agree with that. And I would say I've really liked the FPV in the back of ours, but also it
It's
hasn't
not
been
enough.
reliable.
It's not enough.
And it's
And
not enough
it
juice.
it hasn't been reliable. Like
Yeah, that's the problem.
I've had issues.
It's
Now
a
when
cool
it works
rigging
though,
system.
the one that I have now works really well.
Hmm.
And it fits
Same.
in hull and I will be using that to power probably things later. Like I'll plug that
Yeah.
into a channel and
Not going
that'll be
away.
great. But
All right.
yeah,
Last
not enough.
question. Sunscreen.
It's not a question. That I really don't know why we're answering.
Anything
I got
over
anything over 35
there
is
you go. Because
BS.
some people have
F
been
big
concerned.
sunscreen. If you come tell me 50, I'll show you my unburned skin, my unburned white skin that I'm comfortable with, and I'm
There
happy.
have been a decent, number of people just chirping about in the chat where they're like, "You guys don't use any sunscreen? Like skin cancer is a thing." And I was like, "I totally understand
Oh, I use
skin
sunscreen
cancer and
constantly.
appreciate it." Because yeah, it's
It's no joke.
not it ain't no
30
joke.
SPF 35 is solid
However, what we're
protection.
saying is there's a limit. So
Big
we go,
sunscreen is just trying to
yeah,
get you to buy extra PFs.
big sunscreen is
So
just marking
don't
you up, my
they're
guys.
trying to get
Come
you to
on.
buy extra PFs, and I don't do
Mhm.
that. I get what I need. It's 35. If you buy
You
50,
keep
you're
your
getting
PFs.
swindled. Keep your extra PFs. I don't need them. Copper tone sport, blue bottle,
Copper
everything else is
tone.
trash. Everything
Yep.
else you're buying is inferior.
Don't you pay for what's the one with the monkey on the front?
Copper tone? No, what's the other one? Yeah, what's the
Sunbum. Sunbum.
banana
Banana
boat?
boat.
Trash. Garbage.
All right, cool. Here at Burly Fishing, we're looking for sponsors from
Make a
sunscreen companies.
stand.
Make a stand. All right. That's all we got for the Make a Stand best worst episode here. Is this the best episode of Burly Fishing
Or the
Podcast?
worst.
Worst episode. Hit us up in the
Let us
comments. Let us know specific episodes. We'll check it out. And if we agree with you, maybe we'll send you something. We appreciate you guys so much for listening to this, even though we're not live. Thanks for hanging in there with us. I'll be back for next week. And we'll be going live again. We miss you already. Chaz, take us out of here. Oh, yeah. Subscribe and all that other stuff.
Like